Hello, let's take a look at your MT2 LT6 affirmation. Your work was fine. I could see your work, but when I copied it to this document, it turned in kind of dark, so I'm going to have to try to go along with this. Why did you multiply by 2 here? 2 times 7 is 14. That's not 8. When I did the seminar, the problems I did in the seminar, I could multiply by something to give the other denominator or the other numerator. We don't have that here. So you have to solve this a different way. You solve it like you solve any equation. There is let me change the color here so you can see a little bit nicer. There is a bar here. So what's the opposite? That means divide. What's the opposite of divide? Well, let's multiply both sides by 8. So if we multiply both sides by 8, 7 does not, I'll put it over 1, so it looks like a fraction. On the left side, the 8's reduce. You get y plus 4. On the right side, 7 does not go into 8, nor does it have any common factors, so you just multiply across. 6 times 8 is 48 over 7. Then we want to get y by itself, so we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. Remember, that's 4 over 1 if you want to write it as a fraction. In order to subtract fractions, because we can't just leave it like that, we got to simplify it, you need a common denominator. Well, your common denominator is 7, so we don't have to do anything with the 48. But we do have to change the denominator of 4 over 1 to 7. Well, 1 times 7 is 7. If you multiply the denominator by 7, you've got to multiply the numerator by 7. 4 times 7 is 28. So then 48 minus 28 is 20 over 7. And there's your answer. If you're going to use equivalent fractions, they have to be equivalent. That's the issue on that one. Let's take a look at another one. This kind of the same way. You can't multiply 4 by a whole number to give you 11. So we're just going to multiply both sides by 4. 4 over 1. And once again, 4 and 11 don't reduce, so 5 times 4 is 20 over 11 equals V. Write that as your answer. Don't do any mixed number stuff because that's just a place you can make another mistake. 20 over 11 is reduced, and that's what we want to do as we move into more advanced math. Okay, now this one, your work was actually correct, except what happened is when you divided, that you did not divide correctly. You rounded. We can't do any rounding, but we can use the process you used. I like the process you used. So we're going to take 240 divided by 9. So let's do this on the calculator so you can see it. I'm going to clear out everything from the previous problem. So we take 240 divided by 9. And that's like 26 and 2/3. Don't write 26. Don't round that to 27. I'm just going to say 240 over 9. Or I'm going to leave that in my calculator for now. Bring back the calculator. Now, you're going to take 216, rather than dividing it by 27, we're going to divide it by, what we say, 26 and 2/3. So I'm going to take 216 divided by 26 and 2/3, and this is where the calculator on decimals works pretty nice. I just press my return button, just like on a keyboard. I'm going to take 216. I'm going to divide that by your answer. And notice we get 8.1. And 8.1 is the correct answer for this. So your process was right. Just got to, whoops. Your process was right. You just got to be careful of your rounding. And don't be rounding in the middle of the problem. Now, that's one way to do it. I'm going to show you a different way. You can do it your way as long as you don't round and you'll get it correct. Let me show you a different way, though. We're going to do ratios. So you went 240 miles on 9 gallons. I want to know how many gallons, so I don't know what the gallons is. That's your X. But you went 216 miles, didn't you? Now, let me see here. I like to reduce that fraction. I don't like working with such big numbers. So what I'm going to do is I notice if I take 240 divided by 3, I can take 9 divided by 3 and get an answer. So 240 divided by 3 is 80 over 3 equals 216 over X. Now, X is in the wrong spot in our ratio, isn't it? It's in the denominator. It makes it really tough to solve problems when X is in the denominator. So let's use the property of reciprocals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip and make it X over 216. Well, if I flip one side, I got to do the reciprocal of the other side, so that's 3 over 80. Now, to solve for X, we multiply both sides by 216. And since these are big numbers, I think I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to take 216 times 3, and I'm going to divide that by 80. And hopefully, when I show this to you, we're going to get the same answer. So I'm going to take 216, forgot what it was, times 3, and we'll divide that by 80. Where you put the division sign doesn't matter. Notice you get the same answer, 8.1. Do whatever way you find easier. You have 2 ways. I've shown you how you can do this, so you just pick the way you like to do it, and then do it that way. No matter how you do it, you're going to get 8.1. And I think those are the 3 mistakes you made. Just I'm going to double check. Yep, those are the 3 mistakes.